Seduction Motion.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to all of you. Y'all are rolling up in here this morning. It's amazing to me how the numbers do not correspond, but it's okay. It's okay. I just love seeing all of you. So I just want to say good morning to all of you. I see you, Deborah Johnson. Girl, it's cold outside, but you know this is my kind of weather, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't want it to be raining, but I love this weather. Robert Holman, yes, Grand Rising. Amen to that. Kim Edmondson, good morning. Girl, I had a dream about you last night. I'll tell you about that later. It was wealthy, though. It was sure enough wealthy. I mean, whole entire communities of new homes, okay? And something you should know, Kim Edmondson, I don't think I've ever told you this. Dreams that I remember always come to pass. It's the craziest thing. If I remember a dream, there's some factor of that dream that comes to pass. So get ready. Marion Jackson, good morning to you. I did see your comment on Thursday, but we had already gotten off air, so I will make sure we touch base this week. No, Kim Edmondson, no, it's not cold. It's just beautiful. Chardinia, good morning to you. Deborah Johnson, she says, I love the fall and the crisp temperatures. Me too. Say what? Listen, Kim Edmondson, I never, and my family can tell you, every dream that I remember, it always comes to pass. Every dream. Some way, shape, or form, it comes to pass. And I mean, I'm telling you, you had some serious communities. But we'll talk later this week, maybe even later today. But good morning to all of you. Good morning. Good morning to all the audio podcasts. See, I'm remembering y'all, right? Good morning to all of you. Before I get started, if I even look tired, is because my mom is back in the hospital. So just send up some prayers. We greatly appreciate that. Yesterday was very interesting and extremely long. But we are here. We are here. Marion said this is her type of weather too. Listen, I love y'all. See, I got my sweater on. I was like, I can get sweaters on. Yay! All right, y'all, real quick. Today is Tuesday, October the 15th, 2024. This is That's Happening Tuesday, and we got a lot that's happening. But as always, thank you, Shirley Nicholson. As always, I want to get us to start having this critical thinking. And so I want to start adding deeper questions to the pot when we come in here on some mornings. And today, here's my question. Have you ever experienced a moment where you discovered something unfair or unequal in your workplace or community or your professional life, professional setting? If so, how did it make you feel? And what action, if any, did you take in response? Okay, I'll say that again. Have you ever experienced, I need y'all to chat, put it in the chat, those of you who are on audio, as always, send me your emails. I love reading y'all's emails throughout the day. Have you ever experienced a moment where you discovered something unfair or unequal in your workplace or community, professional setting, whether it was related to pay or recognition or opportunities? You fill in the blank there. If so, how did it make you feel? And what action, if any, did you take in response? I'm going to give y'all a few moments to just put that in the chat. Please communicate with me. I greatly appreciate it because I'm coming up with these questions, okay? Again, have you ever experienced a moment where you discovered something unfair or unequal in your workplace or community or in a professional setting, whether it was related to pay, recognition, opportunities, so forth and so on? If so, how did it make you feel? And what action, if any, did you take in response? I see you, Rosanna. I see you, Lori Wallace. Please put that in the chat if y'all don't mind. I just love reading these things when you are communicating with me because it also helps me build what we're doing over there on the Everbloom side. And that is unfolding daily, and I'm so excited about that. I only share so much because I'm waiting for my website to catch up to what I'm doing. And Molly is hopefully getting that on there on the website so that we can be be step by step. I see you, Virgie. Good morning to you. She's in Virginia, y'all. What kind of weather do you have in Virginia, Virgie? Deborah Johnson said, yes, I diplomatically confronted the persons in charge and brought it to light. Yeah. Thank you for putting that in there. Well, y'all, as y'all continue to fill in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it. NPR reports, as we all learned over yesterday, the past maybe 48 hours, Lily Ledbetter, social activist who fought for equal pay for women. She died at the age of 86. Shirley said, went straight to the top hospital administrator and reported it. Okay, so you reported the discrepancies. Okay. So y'all, as again, Lily Ledbetter, women's equality, activist whose fight for pay equity led to passage of the monumental, as we all know, Lily Ledbetter Fair Pay Act of 2009. She died on Saturday. Born in Jacksonville, Alabama. Some of you do not know this story. I would encourage you to read it. She was hired as a supervisor at a Goodyear tire plant in Alabama in 1979. Years later, she discovered through an anonymous note left in her mailbox that she was receiving less pay than her male coworkers who worked the same position. She says, and I quote, "When I saw that, it took my breath away. I felt humiliated. I felt degraded." She recalled in an interview with NPR in 2009. She said she had to sort of get her composure back to go ahead and perform her job. And the first day off, she went and filed a charge with the EEOC. There's a beautiful write-up in NPR and how it was a long fight. We also see where the late Justice Ginsburg also had a piece to this. And that's why we continue to fight today. So the thing is, never stay silent when you're dealing with things like this. Go ahead and expose it and make it right. Don't think if I just sit back, it'll go away. It's not going to go away. And yes, I can attest to the fact that at times we have to get people to join us in prayer so that we can carry out the fight. It's not a secret here. I was a vice president of diversity for a ministry. I almost gave the name. I don't want to do that. For a ministry, international ministry that I worked for many years, and the same happened to me. And I did go to the EEOC, and then I also went and filed a suit against this ministry. Many people thought I shouldn't file a suit against a ministry because it's a Christian organization, but they were treating me unfairly. So I know some of you know that story. It's been in a couple of my books. I've shared it openly. And that struggle. And yes, it was tough because I was ostracized being a Christian Black woman, and how people felt about me doing that, giving a suit. So that is Lily Ledbetter. But let's just start reading and understanding and connecting the dots with everything that's going on. So thank you for weighing in with your answers on the question. And if you have not had a chance to, if you get an opportunity, hit the replay. I would love to hear your thoughts through an email. You can email me at Gail at gaildudley.com or newsinmotionwithgail@gmail.com. I think all that stuff is out there. All right, y'all. So FEMA, wow, I can't believe this. FEMA was forced to pause aid over the weekend in parts of North Carolina due to reports of threats against responders. They've made FEMA and hurricanes and disasters political. Why? I don't get it. So CNN was the first to report this. Aid to several communities impacted by Hurricane Helene it was temporarily paused in parts of North Carolina over the weekend due to reports of threats against Federal Emergency Management Agency responders amid a backdrop of misinformation about responses to recent storms. And we all know by now that misinformation is coming from the GOP side, being that of candidate Donald Trump, his vice president candidate, J.D. Vance, and Marjorie Taylor Greene believes they can flip a switch and cause a hurricane. Like, we're really doing that here. So y'all, that is happening in the midst of us going to the polls 3 weeks away, y'all, less than 25 days. So some operations were paused. They were like, we can't do this. This was in Ashe County. Sheriff B. Phil Howe said this included in-person application for aid in at least 2 locations due to threats occurring in some counties, according to the County Emergency Management Office. They urged residents to stay calm and steady during the recovery. And they want people to stop spreading misinformation and disinformation. Welcome to AI, y'all. On Saturday, FEMA workers had to halt. They just had to completely just shut it down. The National Guard troops saw armed people coming. They were threatening FEMA workers, according to the Washington Post, which cited an email to federal agencies helping in response, verified by unnamed federal officials. They're not sure, where the threats are coming from at this moment, how many of them are real, how many of them now are copycat or made up. But y'all, that is happening. That's happening. One man armed with a rifle and handgun was arrested for allegedly threatening to harm FEMA employees. The threats appear to be driven by a toxic, dangerous misinformation that's being peddled. And y'all, this is a direct, they did trace this back to him, peddled by former President Trump, who's now a candidate President Trump. FEMA has said that rumors about its disaster response makes it more difficult to help people who need assistance. They're even finding that people are saying, just forget it. I don't want any assistance. I don't want any of your help, because they are afraid. Why in God's name are we doing this? Don't we want to help people? I see you, Davia. She says, unbelievable. How do you intentionally put the people you claim to serve in harm's way to create a political narrative? Exactly. Great question. Rodessa, good morning to you. So y'all, this is happening. So if you know anyone in this direct path of either Hurricane Helene or Milton who are facing flooding, devastation, and whatnot, please, please, please send them the information that I shared with all of you last week. I'll be sure to put it on my on the News in Motion Facebook page. We need to get this information out to people, how they can apply for FEMA aid. And if I have a banner, I'll put that up as well. And I do. Bam. FEMA assistance, 1-800-621-3362. Again, that's 1-800-621-3362. Marion, if you do what you do, will you grab that and put it in the chat so that people will have that readily available to them? So if you all will copy it and post it on your pages, that will be great as well. They can also download the FEMA app if they don't want to go in. But the problem is there are people who are still without electricity. They're still without cell towers. So it's hard for them to download an app to do that. So going in to complete the application is easier for so many people. Or they can do the website, which is www.disasterassistance.gov, www.disasterassistance.gov. So let's do our part as a News in Motion community to continue to communicate with people who may need some assistance. I see you, Marianne. The phone number, here's the phone number, 1-800-621-3362, 1-800-621-3362. And thank you, Marianne, for doing that. Kim said that is absolutely crazy. It is. Good morning, Regina. All right, y'all, since we're talking about voting, here we go. Georgia, you are up. Okay. Early voting starts for you today, Georgia. And I'm getting this information directly from ballotpedia.org, the Lincoln Project, and When We All Vote. I'm constantly being fed this information, so I'm doing my due diligence to get it out here to you, Georgia. Early voting starts today. Somebody say today. And it ends on Friday, November the 1st. on my Instagram story, I found this image, and I called my daughter. Says, "Is this really happening?" She said, "Mom, those signs are in yards all over Georgia." And the sign says, and it has a cuss word, but I won't cuss. The sign says, "Jimmy Carter is staying alive for this." You fill in the blank, and it says, "We better not let him down." These signs are all over Georgia. So Georgia, Jimmy Carter, go ahead and vote today, brother. Go ahead and vote today. We give you honor. You are 100 years old. You should be the first person voting today. And you probably did that at 12:01 a.m. this morning. So to his grandson who was making sure he votes, thank you so much. So yeah, y'all, my daughter said signs are all over Georgia. That says Jimmy Carter is staying alive for this. You fill in the blank. We better not let him down. Yes, Kim Edmondson, vote Jimmy Carter. Vote Jimmy Carter. Iowa early voting starts for you on tomorrow, Wednesday, October the 16th. It ends on Monday, November the 4th. I keep saying I'm not going to tell y'all the end date because I just want y'all to do it, just to get it done. Kansas early voting starts for you on tomorrow. However, you have to pay attention to your county. I don't know why y'all do it this way, because all of y'all can't start on the 16th. It's the craziest thing. So early voting in Kansas varies by county. So you need to check your county to see when you can vote. Rhode Island, early voting starts for you on tomorrow, Wednesday. Tennessee, early voting starts for you on October the 16th. North Carolina, early voting starts for you on Thursday, October the 17th. Louisiana, early voting starts for you on this Friday, October the 18th. Nevada, early voting starts for you Saturday, October the 19th. Massachusetts, early voting starts for you on Saturday, October the 19th. In Washington, early voting starts for you on Friday as well. So I had that out of order. Washington, you are October 18th. Nevada, October 19th. Massachusetts, October 19th. Why do I share that? Because I am learning more and more from everything that I'm reading and people who are reaching out to us, that people have no idea where to go, what's happening, what can they do early voting? Is it just absentee voting? So we're going to do our best here to keep you informed as to what's going on. It's talking about what's going on. And I'm trying to get her on the show to talk about this herself. Lucy Harrell. People, know your rights, know your rights. Right now, I'm talking to anyone who has any felonies. At this point, anyone who has a felony, knowing that somebody is running with 34 counts, also a sexual harassment thing, and whoever knows what's had to shut down his university and so much more. Everyone should be able to vote, okay? Just everyone. Everybody should be able to vote. But we can't, but we should know our rights. AP reports from Atlanta, Georgia, for the first time in over 10 years, Lucy Harrell can vote. She is estimated as she is one of the estimated 450,000 people in Georgia. Y'all, I ain't talking about the United States. I'm talking about Georgia. With past convictions who are now eligible to cast ballots. The problem is the 450,000, well, let's say 449,000, because she now knows she can vote, has no idea that they can vote. They are intentionally not letting them know that they can vote. So if you are in Georgia and you're wondering, well, can I vote yet? Can I vote yet? Contact your Board of Voters Education, Board of Voters Elections. Is that the Board of Elections? Whew, I got that all wrong. The Board of Elections. Forgive me, the Board of Elections. Contact them. As a Get Out to Vote effort ramps up against the swing states, advocates have a hard time reaching those who are formerly incarcerated. This is coming from AP, they're reporting. And Pamela Wynn says, she's an Atlanta organizer who was also formerly incarcerated, says nobody comes back to inform you that your voting rights are restored. You don't receive a letter, they're saying. There's no kind of notification, but you have to do your due diligence. So if you are one of these individual people, I'm talking 450,000 people just in Georgia, you can vote. And they're hoping you don't know that you can. So do what you do and ask. It's not that you have to register all over again because you're already registered. You're already registered. They're just not letting you know that you can vote. So these are people who are already registered that has no idea they can vote. And so Lucy Harrell found out I can vote, because she went digging, she went looking, and I think, if I reread this correctly, she went to one of the tents where Pamela Wynn was hosting, letting people know at a vending event, you can vote, and she found out that she could vote. So if you know anybody in Georgia who has any type of felonies or been incarcerated previously, and you're like, hey, I think they done that's their due diligence has extended, they can vote now. Let them know they can vote. So if you know anybody, and listen, if you are one of those individual people, and you may be saying, well, I don't anybody know. Listen, they know. So just contact the Board of Elections and find out. Latrice Jones says, what if they've been purged? That's the other thing, Latrice. Thank you for raising that. Good morning to you, by the way. That's the other thing, Latrice. If you have been purged, you are still, because you're already in the records, it's not like you have to go through the voter registration all over again. Well, let me change that. Rewind. Depending upon how long ago you've been purged. If you've been purged in the last 2 to 3 years, you can just get reinstated. If you've been purged for 2 election cycles, I think that's my understanding, 2 general election cycles, you will have to go through the registration all over again. Thank you for raising that. And I'm going to do some more digging on that to give you the exact dates, and hopefully I can bring that to you tomorrow. But yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. So listen, get out of your feelings. If you have a felony conviction, if you've been incarcerated and you want to know if you can vote, listen, we can call this is so bad of me to say, we can call this is your revenge voting, okay? So find out if you can vote and then go vote, okay? Just want to let you know. Now, don't wait for people to let you know. Check it out. You can go to ballotpedia.org. You can go to your own Secretary of State's office or connect with an advocate. On Facebook, look up Pamela Wynn. If you're in Georgia, Pamela Wynn, that's Winn. Find her Facebook page. She's taking DMs. And she's helping you because she wants you to know that you can vote. You can vote. Listen, Kim Edmondson says everybody should be able to vote. Listen, everybody. We got how many? 34? All right, y'all. I'm confused. That's happening Tuesday, right? And I am so confused here. Y'all, the Washington Post is reporting that, I got to give you his name, okay? That Donald J. Trump is waging a campaign against real-time fact checkers. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. So his campaign is pushing TV networks, journalism organizations, these nonpartisan organizations, digital, me included, platform organizations to abandon the practice. They do not want to be fact-checked. If you get fact-checked, you're going to be on his list, and he's coming for you if he makes it back to the White House. What? You don't want to be fact-checked? So you just want to lie. You just want to openly lie. You want to have the right to lie. You don't want anybody to tell you that you're a liar. Dude, you are a liar. Okay? You are a bona fide, habitual liar. You need to be on somebody's sofa. You lie so much. Okay? You lie like a rug. You are a liar. And now you don't want us to fact check you? Dude, you lie. You are a liar. Seriously, y'all. He says that he hopes to get anybody. Yes, he's out of control, Kim Edmondson. He wants to get anybody who comes in his way and who fact checks what he has to say, or any of his people. Say what? Y'all, this is the latest example of his long-held resistance to being called to account for his falsehoods. He's upset about FEMA. He doesn't want anybody fact check him over FEMA. He said we've gone too far with his misinformation. So he backed out. If y'all remember, he backed out of the 60-minute interview because they refused. They refused to say we won't fact check you. So he backed out. The interview in August with a group of Black journalists, he almost backed out, but they told him, no, these are Black people. You can't back out. So he decided to antagonize the journalists. Y'all remember that, right? He did not like it when CBS was fact-checking J.D. Vance. He was not like it when he was being fact-checked during the debate. He's like, that is not okay. That is not okay. He does not want to be fact-checked at all. Say what? Dude, sit down somewhere. Please sit down. Please sit down. And since we're talking about fact checking and you have a problem with us fact checking you, AP is reporting that your inflation piece with your economic plan, that's a concept of a plan, will make everything worse. Economists after economists after economists, including the Nobel Peace Prize of this year's economists, said that you would make inflation worse for everyday people. Yes, y'all, it's a message tailored for Americans who are still exasperated by the jump in consumer prices, which began about 3.5 years ago. But we have to understand, y'all, where it came from and why it happened. It all happened because of COVID. Now, as Pastor Derek Holmes shared with you all last Wednesday, it is true that check you received was only to get you to spend money to get the economy going again, but it didn't do exactly what they wanted everyone to do. And so that's why it was just in September when Chairman Powell of the FOMC came out and cut rates just a little bit, and they're planning to cut more. Things are starting to cool. We had the CPI report last week. We had the PPI report last week. We have more reports coming out this week. Y'all, I am now a believer that it all connects. The financial piece of this connects to the political piece of it and inflation. Okay, it all connects. So the economists are coming out saying, "No, your proposal would not vanish." He's saying it would just like vanish inflation. Like, dude, you be making up some stuff. And they said that is not true. So nonpartisan researchers say that they predict if Donald Trump successfully enacts his agenda, it will absolutely 97.388 increase inflation. Yeah, this is coming from the Peterson Institute for International Economics predicted that Trump's policy, the deportations, the import taxes, and efforts to erode the Fed's independence will drive, they're saying the word absolutely drive, consumer prices sharply higher 2 years into his term. The Peterson Institute for International Economic analysis conclude that inflation, which would otherwise register at 1.9% in 2026, would instead jump to between, get these numbers, y'all, 6% and 9.3% if Trump's economic proposals were adopted if he got back into office. Y'all better know what y'all know. Y'all better know the truth. Know the truth, for the truth will set you free. All right, y'all got one more story, and I'm going to go to the inspirational message. Boeing. Listen, I'm like, am I flying anywhere anytime soon? So Quartz is reporting on Sunday, 33,000 unionized workers marked 1 month of picketing for better pay. A strike that has brought production of the company's 737s to a standstill and has cost Boeing, its suppliers, and consumers and Seattle area businesses a collective, get this number, $5 billion, that's with a B, according to Anderson Economic Group. The acting labor secretary urged both sides to find a compromise following a long weekend of what they consider as worsening outlooks. Marion Jackson says everything the Trump campaign is doing to spread misinformation and plotting revenge against news outlets will cost him this election. Verge is saying the DOJ is suing Virginia Glenn Youngkin for having voters purged from voting. I believe over 6,000 people from voting. Kim Edmondson says Democrats better spread the message. Deborah says, Boeing, please get your stuff together. Please get your stuff together because I don't want to keep driving everywhere. So y'all, the company is expecting to incur, again, a $5 billion in extra expenses related to its commercial and defense businesses quarter. It will cut 17,000 jobs in the coming months. A 10% layoff will affect executives, managers, and factory workers. That's the people that work on the planes that we fly in the air. We already having problems with these planes. The long-awaited 777X craft is being delayed another year to 2026. Listen, y'all fix the planes that are already out there. We can put 777 777X somewhere else. Now they're saying that it's just one thing after another. The strikes shows no sign of slowing. They believe more people will begin to strike. So my question is, who's making maintenance on these planes? Union leaders say that picketers who now y'all get this, they get $250 a week from the strike fund in lieu of paychecks and health insurance. Know that they're in this for the long haul. So these individuals who are picketing know that the checks they used to get, they're no longer getting. They're getting $250 from the strike fund. So this is in place of their paychecks and healthcare. That means these people are saying enough is enough. That they will take the $250, forego their insurance. Like, that's happening, y'all. This is happening in the midst of a presidential election cycle. I lied. I do have one more thing before I go. I was looking at the time to see if I had time to say. So I need to say this because I saw this for myself. And I remember saying to the salesperson in the store, is there something wrong with this? She says, oh, we're getting so many complaints, but we all know that we wouldn't do that. That is Bath and Body Works. So this is happening on Tuesday. They had to apologize yesterday, and they had to stop selling a candle decorated with paper snowflakes that social media and people in the stores like me who raised their... I looked at that candle, I was like, this don't look right. It looks like the Ku Klux Klan's hoods. Y'all, Google it. I was not going to put it on here. Y'all need to go Google it. It is out there. It is out there. The candles labeled Snowed In. It was really cute. Even their whole promotional piece of it was amazing. But when I looked at it, I said, what's happening here? Yeah, it was decorated with paper snowflakes, but many people on social media and consumers who had seen this in the store compared it to the hoods and robes worn by Klans members. I promise y'all, when y'all see it, it's out there. It's out there. It looks just like it. I'm telling y'all, I was like, hello? I don't think I'm supposed to have this. She says, it's just a snowflake. And she was like defending, which I get it. She works there. I get it. I said, come on now, look at this. And she just said, I can't say anything else. No, you need to take this off of this table. So y'all, the KKK is one of the oldest and most famous hate groups in the United States, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center. The Anti-Defamation League says that the imagery of the KKK hood itself has become a hate symbol. The candle has since been pulled from Bath and Body Works website and the retail locations, with company telling CNN in a statement its design was unintentional. Okay, it might have been unintentional, but y'all should have looked at it. Like, where's your checkers? Like, where's your people that you normally have come in and you pay them to look at things and decide, does this work? Does this not work? Because I used to be one of those people for Bath and Body Works. Okay, what happened to that? Don't skip steps to save money, because somebody could have saved you with this. So, and here's a quote from Bath and Body Works. At Bath and Body Works, we are committed to listening to our teams and customers and committed to fixing any mistake we make, even though they are unintentional, like this one. You didn't need to say, although they're unintentional. Just make your apology. Please, people, just make your apology. He goes on to say, the spokesperson goes on to say, we apologize to anyone we've offended and are swiftly working to have this item removed and are evaluating our process for going forward. Go back to having your audits where people come in, everyday consumers come in and spend the day with you. Again, I used to be one of those people. Used to spend the day with you and say, I don't know, y'all might need to look at this again, because somebody in that room would have told y'all, oh, this don't look right, because it was that prominent. All right, Lori says, oh snap, I just looked at it. No, just no. Lori, it is crazy. Yes, Deborah, epic failure from Bath and Body Works. Dr. Annette says Bath and Body Works was selling it too. They were selling it like people were buying. That's like what's happening right now. Deborah says they will be pulling off those labels and putting new ones on those same candles. Well, yeah, that's what they're going to do. Kim Edmonds said they really thought they were going to get away with that. Listen, Rodessa says, yes, it does. They knew what they were doing when they put those out. Listen, I walked in the store because I'm already in the holiday because it was cool outside yesterday, and I'm walking in this the display was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But my eyes zoned in on that candle. I said, "Hello!" Like I literally said, "Did you see this right here? Did you see this?" And she was like, "Oh," which means she had seen it several times. I said, "I think I might." Did you call your manager, your director, your regional? Did you call somebody? Because you can't do this. You can't do that. Even if it's not intentional, someone needs to recognize this. Okay? So there's that. Lori says, I have no idea how they could miss it. Me either. Me either. All right, now the inspirational message for today, and we are out of here. Listen. I've been saying a lot lately about seek God and not opportunities. Seek God and not opportunities. I'm begging you all, if you would just trust God with one thing, where you're not seeking the opportunity, but you're seeking God, I promise you the opportunities will come. I promise you. More and more, I'm in this space. You know what? I just want to be done with certain things. And even my family will say to me, but you love that. You can't just give that up. But I'm doing some things because people love it so much and they don't want me to give it up. But I hear God saying, that's over. Come over here. And Latrice Jones, I'll be calling you as soon as I'm off of here. That's over. You got to move over here. You got to move over here. I shared with you all last week, and I put this in a post on yesterday. On my website, I had Molly pretty much clean off. I had her pretty much scrub my website of anything that was faith related. My goal was, and I put this in a post on Instagram yesterday, my goal was that I was hoping to get more clients, more diverse clients, more clients that didn't want to hear the biblical reference to building a business. But I was convicted of that. I was convicted because I was seeking opportunities, not God. So now, Everbloom is coming forward, and Molly is I'm waiting on the website to catch up with what I'm doing, so I'm very careful what I'm saying. Hopefully she's working on putting all that together so that the website will show that News in Motion is not going anywhere. And God let me know that's not what he was saying, because the inspirational message is still here. The book Inspire is still here. But Everbloom, looking at those different components, and there are 5 E's. I won't go over the 5 E's now, but there are 5 E's. And in the post, I said, want to experience authentic victory, surrender completely. We have to surrender to what God has for us, regardless of what everyone else is thinking that we should say or do. And I love business coaches. I love coaching. I love brand awareness. I love brand coaching. And we need all of those things. We do. But it's how we do it. Are we seeking God first? Or are we just taking the words of the brand strategist or the business coach or the coach? What is God speaking directly to you? What is that? The reason we do what we do here, and y'all have seen it ebb and flow several times over the 4 years with News in Motion, because I was going with where people were taking me. And God was like, will you just shut all that noise? Just shut all that noise and keep doing what I've called you to do. And that's connecting the dots. And it was Kim Edmondson who said this best, that I continue to connect the dots of the news source with voting, civic engagement, voter awareness, the shenanigans and all of that. That's who we are. That's what we do. And we know that we're not here for everybody. We know that. We know that. I'm going to get on y'all's last nerves up to November the 5th with voting. Everything I find out, I'm giving it to you. I'm sharing it with you. And I'm giving you that inspirational connection with it, because that's who I am. I can't scrub me. It's embedded in me. I believe in Jesus. I follow God. I hear his voice. And I was reminded last week when speaking with my daughter, prayer is my superpower. Trust me. Trust me. I've tried to run away from that. And people on here who authentically know me, who know Gail Elizabeth Pryor with a Y Dudley, know prayer. Me and Jesus have conversation all the time. I drove to church Sunday, just going like, God, look here, I'm not doing this no more. Listen here, Jesus, I'm sick of this. That's how I have conversation with God. And he's been answering those prayers. I have prayer warriors. If you have a business, if you have a side hustle, whatever you want to call it, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a speaker, if you are an author, if you are a coach, whatever, an artist, whatever, a customer service rep, a waitress at a table, whatever that is, seek God, not the opportunity. Seek God and be the best at you of what God has called you to be in this season. I promise you, y'all, things are about to break off in such an amazing way. And no, we cannot miss it. Not at all. We cannot miss it. But I'm asking all of us to be ready and prepared for it. Be ready and prepared for it. I was speaking with Pastor Dr. Amani Jones from, oh gosh, I can't think of her church, off of Stelzer. I think it's Stelzer, across from CCC where Pastor Forbes preached. Her and her husband's name is, why can I not find these names today? But Amani Jones. We were talking, and y'all know she's a chaplain. She is the chaplain. She's the bomb.com at the Ohio State University hospital system. And she was saying after the election, Advent, thank you, Lori. She was saying after the election, are those of us prepared? Shantae, if you're on here, Gwen, if you're on here, Davia, if you're on here, she was saying, are we prepared to counsel people, regardless of what side of the aisle they're on? Because something is there. And at the same time, as some hearts are being mended, other people will be kind of like thrust or propelled into their purpose. And we'll see that. So are you prepared and are you ready for what's to come? Y'all, seek God, not opportunities. So if anyone wants to experience authentic victory, surrender completely. And if you don't know how, thank you, Shirley Collin Jones. If you don't know how to do that, reach out to people who know how to do that, who know how to help you navigate in times like these. One last thing before I get out of here. Ohio State, I want to be y'all's coach because y'all should have kicked the field goal. Y'all only had 6 seconds left there. Y'all should have kicked the field goal there. And I don't know why you didn't, because that kicker is the bomb.com. So I don't know what happened there, but you should have kicked it. Now, to the young man, I don't even know if I should call you a young man, to the person who decided that it was okay to spit on somebody in their face, you shouldn't be playing the rest of this season. I said what I said. I said what I said. You should not be able to play the rest of this season. Seriously. I don't know why, y'all, but I'm still there. I'm still mad about that. I'm like, what? Did you just spit on somebody? You did. That's not how we should interact with people. Love wins. Love wins. So until tomorrow, I am Gail Dudley. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Y'all know what I say, everyone. Stay well. And remember, make some bold moves. We're out.
Motion.